everybody, it's Tiffany Kafalis from Kafalis Designs. We want to just thank you all for the outpouring amount of support and love that everybody's been sending our ways for our face masks. So we wanted to do two things. We want to set up a tutorial video so you can see how we make our face masks. And then we also are going to start offering a DIY packet. And the reason we're going to start offering this is so that we can try to keep up with the demand, so that those people that do not have the capabilities to sew are able to order and get their masks as quickly as possible. We're still at that 3 to 4 day turnaround, but I would love to reduce it even more. I want these to be going out next business day. To the best of my capabilities. So one way we can do that is if you have a machine and you're capable to sew your own masks, you could purchase one of these DIY kits and do it yourself. The kit is going to include enough to make 5 masks. So the idea is a family of 4 will need 4 masks and then 1 extra mask for you to pay it forward and donate to somebody that's in need. So 5 masks will be included in this kit for you to make yourself. So I'm going to open that up so you can just see what's all going to be inside whenever you order. So you'll get 5 fabric packs that are already pre-laid for you to make those masks. You're going to get your thread and then 10 pieces of elastic pre-cut. So everything's pre-cut and ready to go into your sewing machine. So if you are capable of sewing and want to order one of these packs, they're going to be $15. It'll make 5 masks, and that will include shipping. And these will be shipped next business day from ordering. So that's the plus side to these DIY kits, is it's going to be quick. So that you can have them and you can make them hopefully within less than an hour in your afternoon. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and I will walk you through the steps on how to make one of these masks. Alright, so the first step, I'm going to go through all the supplies that you're going to need. So obviously you'll have your supplies for the mask itself, but you're going to need a few pins, a pair of scissors, and then some sort of tool, a pencil or something to help flip your mask during one of the steps. So we're going to go ahead and open one of our packs of fabric for the mask. So our masks are made with a 3-layer design. So when you get one and pull it out of the plastic, it will already be laid exactly how you need it to go directly into the machine. But basically you're going to have your cotton that has a pattern, and it's going to be wrong side up on the very top. Then you're going to have your solid color cotton as the next layer. And then underneath that, your last layer is going to be your flannel, which is going to be on the inside of the mask, so you will not see this. So if you see a weird color or something like that that doesn't look like it matches, you won't see it once the mask is completely made. So the one thing I will say now before we get started, your elastic pieces, they are going to be sandwiched in between the 2 layers of cotton whenever we sew. So you're going to actually sew them on the long edge. It's going to be like that. And then at your other corners on the long edge is where you're going to sew the elastic. So that is an important step to remember. The easiest way to make one of these is going to be sewing on a sewing machine. So if you have a machine, that's going to be your best bet. But you can hand stitch these. It's just going to take probably your afternoon to do. I like to sew these right around 3/8 of an inch to on the first round, 1/4 of an inch. You have a 1/4 of an inch, but I do right in between there for your inseam. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So So you just want to make sure you back pedal to start, and then right when you get towards that edge there, maybe about a ½ inch in, you're going to set your elastic in between those 2 layers of cotton. Give your elastic about a ½ inch. You can just stick out just a hair, you'll see, sticking out from that cotton. You're going to want to go back and forth at least twice, if not 3 times. And then you're going to be right there on that corner, and that is the best way to make these masks, is it for the elastic to be right at that corner edge. Now you're going to sew your whole short edge. And stop and turn it again. And then you're going to want to push this in. So I know you're going to have a lot of excess, but you want that to be on the inside of the mask. You do not want to have an inch sticking out here. The longer you have on the inside, that means the more length you're going to have for that earpiece, which will hopefully be more comfortable on your face. So we're going to shove that all the way up against that needle's edge there. We're going to do the same thing, stop and go back and forth 2 to 3 times just to make sure it's nice and sturdy on there. And again, in between those 2 layers of cotton. And stopped right after that elastic. Straight down on the short edge again. And then one more time right here on the short edge of the elastic. And then right after you do that piece of elastic, you're actually going to just back pedal one more time and stop. You're going to want about a 3-inch gap here before you hit your where you first started, which was about halfway down on that long edge. That's so that you have a big enough hole to flip easily your mask inside, right side out. So that is your first stitch. It's very beginner level, pretty simple. If you have a machine or if you've ever hand stitched anything, you're in a good spot to do these masks. So next step is going to be flipping these right side out. So you're going to flip it right side out by being those 2 cotton layers, and you're going to flip it out so that you can see the elastic. And dream scenario is you can just pull those elastic straps and it pulls all your edges out perfectly. So then from here, if you haven't gotten all the edges out, you can use your pencil or whatever. If you have a flipper tool like we have, then you can push all the edges out that way. It seems like I grabbed this one on the edge, but that's okay. So from here, you are going to do your pleating. So pleating is probably the most difficult part of the mask making process. We do 2 pleats on our masks, so you just kind of have to imagine splitting this up into 3 parts. I usually start at our top pleat and grab it at about 1 inch down. And then you're just going to bring it over about a ½ inch, and then go about another inch down and do it again. And then we do our pinning directly in the center. But you can also pin on the edges, just so you have a little extra help whenever you're going around. So that is what you want it to look like before you go ahead and buzz your pleats. So I always start on this mask is basically upside down, so I always start on the right hand side because this is the more difficult side to pleat starting, since it's going kind of the opposite direction of your sewing. So you just want to go ahead and try to stay as close to the edge as you can, like around 1/8 of an inch or 2/8 of an inch max. So I always go. Whoop. Okay, so I always start there. And then you're going to stop on your edge and turn. And it is important, I always recommend that you try to get that elastic one more time whenever you're going around the edge. So that's why you want to kind of stay close to the edge when you're doing this step. We're coming up on our hole, so I just want to fold that down and make sure the raw edges are hidden. Stop. Flip one more time. And you have completed a mask. So then you just need to take your scissors and trim all the excess string off, which is pretty minimal as long as your thread doesn't break too much throughout your process. But that is a completed face mask.